economy. So under the Indian economy, it explains about the growth and development. So first one, we have to know the meaning of growth. So growth means it measured through national income. So that is, it is called as an GDP. So national income means what? The total value of goods and service which has been produced over a period of time. So usually 1 year. So through this we receives an income. So that income which is measured as a national income. So this is considered as an growth. Next one, we come to know about an economic development. So a country is said to be developed means, so how it is said to be developed? So it has been measured through the quality of life of the people. So it has been measured through three indices. One is developmental index, human development index, second one quality of life of index, and third one it is a gross national happiness index. Then the economy which has been classified into three types. One is a developed economy, underdeveloped economy, and developing economy. So how the economy is said to be developed? Through the per capita income will be increased, their resources, they use their resources in an efficient manner, and then their country is said to be industrialized. This is said to be an developed economy. When a country is said to be an underdeveloped, so underdeveloped means they are not using the resources in a proper way, like mines and workers will not be used in an efficient manner, and the per capita income will be reduced, and the country will not be using any industrialization. So that's why the country is said to be underdeveloped. When a country is said to be developing means, so developing means they use resources in an efficient manner, and the per capita income which is considered and it is equal to the total population. Okay. Now next we saw about an Indian economy, their features. So Indian economy, so India stands in the 7th position out of 10 topmost country. India stands in the 7th position through measuring the GDP. So the total GDP of India is 7%. Okay. Now next we saw about the features of an Indian economy. So India's strength is, the most important strength of an Indian economy is that India has mixed economy. Then India using an agriculture, then emerging market, then emerging economy. India using a fast growing economy. So among the fast growing economy, India using the third sector, that is a tertiary sector which plays a dominant role. So it is the major strength of an Indian economy. And then use of large domestic consumption is the another strength of the Indian economy. Then rapid growth of urban areas, stable macro economy, then demographic dividends. Then we saw about the demographic trends in India. So the demographic trends which has been characterized into 7 category. One is in size of population, rate of growth, birth rate and death rate, density of population, sex ratio, life expectancy, and literacy ratio. Then we saw about the resources which has been natural resources, that is natural resources, the resources which are in stock or reserves is said to be nature. It is said to be called as a natural resources. So some of the major natural resources like land, forest, water, minerals, and energy. So then we saw about an important mineral resources which are abundant in the country. So one is iron ore, second one coal and lignite, third one is bauxite, fourth one is mica, fifth one it is an crude oil, sixth one it is gold, then seventh one it is an diamond. Then we saw about an infrastructure. So infrastructure means for the development of the economy, it needs certain supporting facilities. So that supporting facilities, it has been divided into two. One is an economic infrastructure and another one is an social infrastructure. So economic infrastructure means that is the supporting system for the facilitating the production and distribution. To increase the production and distribution, it needs certain facilities, supporting facilities. So like transport, communication, post, telegram, railway, canals, plants, power plants, bank, insurance companies. This is all considered as an economic infrastructure. Next, we come to know about and social infrastructure. So, social infrastructure means for the development of the society, it needs certain supporting facilities. So, example like school, college, hospitals, and other civics amenities. Okay, so now we come to know about the contribution of Indian economic thinkers. Nearly we have in contributions. First one, it is an Thiruvalluvar. He plays a major role. He explained about economy, that how economy should develop. So now we come to the concept, the contributions of Indian economic thinkers. So according to Indian economic thinkers, nearly we have an 6 to 7 economic thinker. So first one it is an Thiruvalluvar, second one it is Mahatma Gandhi, third one it is Jawaharlal Nehru, fourth one it is B.R. Ambedkar, fifth one it is V.K.R.B. Rao, sixth one it is J.C. Kumarappa, and the eighth one it is Amartya Kumar Sen. Okay, now let us see about Thiruvalluvar. Okay, so what he have told about economics. So what are the things which he has included as an economics. So in his great book Tirukural, he has explained about economics. So see here, the first thing, the economic idea of Thiruvalluvar are found in his immortal work. So Tirukural, a book of ethics. Even though the scholar describes widely over the estimation period of Thiruvalluvar, it is generally believed that he belonged to Sangam age in Tamil Nadu around the 3rd century AD. So Thiruvalluvar work is marked by an pragmatic idealism. So he has explained about so much of things about economics. So now let us see the first thing. It is an factor of production. So see here, before in his book, that is Thiruvalluvar has made many passing reference about the factor of production. We have in 4 factor: land, labor, capital, and organization. Then 2 more things which has been included, it is time, technology, etc. He says that unfolding harvest and competent body of men, then group of men whose wealth knows no diminutions are the component of an economy. So in his book, in his Tirukural 61, he has explained about the factor of production. Then second one, he has explained about the agriculture. So agriculture plays a most important one, and it is the most fundamental economic activities. So without agriculture, there is no economy. So agriculture plays an important role in the economy. So in his Tirukural 1032, Valluvar believes that agriculture is superior to all other occupations. So those who are working in agriculture, they are considered as an superior when compared to other occupation. Then he has explained about an public finance. So public finance means that is how to administrate the economy. So he has explained that he has stated that we have 4 things, 3 things. One is creation of revenue, collection of revenue, and management of revenue. And then fourth one, it is an public expenditure. So the first thing, that how to administrate the economy, first we need an revenue. So how to collect an revenue? So through taxes. So the 3rd century itself, he has explained about the taxes. Then how to collect and tax, in what are the types we can collect and tax. Then with that revenue, how we can manage the economy, and then how to do an expenditure, how to spend that revenue for the economy. Then he explained about the public expenditure. So public expenditure means through the income, through the revenue. So now the expenditure should be done. So for what are the things the major revenue should be spent? So he has explained in his Tirukural, that is the main items that expenditure which has been done is defense, public work, and social service. So we all know about an defense, it is an army. So army, navy, and others. Then public works like providing transport facilities and communication facilities. And then third one, it is an social service like a development of schools, hospitals and other things. So he has explained about the revenue, how to collect the revenue and manage the revenue, and how to do the expense. Then he has explained about the external assistance. So external assistance means that Valluvar was against seeking external assistance, that we should not depend on another country. So each country should depend on their own country itself. So by seeking the other country means it is he not advocated the seeking of external assistant. Okay, so self sufficient is the most important one. So he has explained about that we should not depend on another countries, that is we should not do the trade. So we have to be self sufficient. So we have to bring self sufficient economy. Then next one, poverty and begging. So Valluvar considered the freedom from hunger is the one of the fundamental freedom. That is, he explained about the poverty. So poverty is the most important causes and evils in an economy. So he explained that number of peoples are living below poverty line, begging, sleeping on the roadside and rag picking in India has been increased. So this should be reduced. So he knows very well about the development, how the economy will be. So he has explained in 3rd century itself. Next he has explained about the wealth. So Valluvar has regarded wealth as a only means and not an end. So he explained about the wealth is the most important. So hoarding of wealth plays an important. Then he considered hoarding and described hoarded wealth as an profitless richness. So to him, industry is a real wealth and labor is the greatest resources. So by increasing an industry, so definitely the economy will be developed, he has considered. Then next last one, it is an welfare state. So welfare state means he gives a more importance for the perfect health of the people without disease and abundant wealth. And third one, good crops. Fourth one, he gives more importance to the prosperity and happiness. Fifth one, full security of the people. So he has explained and he has given more importance for the welfare state. Okay. So next we move to the Gandhian economic ideas. Okay. So next we come to know about the next contribution of Indian economic thinker is Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi is based on the ethical foundation. His theory is based on the ethical foundation. In 1921 and in 1924 he wrote a book which is called as an economic that hurt the moral well-being of an individual or a nation is immortal and therefore sinful. Again in 1924 he repeated with the same belief that economy is untrue, which ignores or disregards moral values. So in these two books he has explained about the ethical values and ethical values for the development of the economy. Okay, now let us see the silent features of Gandhian economic thoughts. So first one, it is an village republic. Second one, it is on missionary. Third one, it is an industrialization. Fourth one, it is an decentralization. Fifth one, it is an breed labor. Sixth one, it is an doctrine of trusteeship. Seventh one, it is an doctrine of trusteeship. Eighth one on the food problem. Ninth one on population, and 10th one it is on prohibition. Okay, so now let us see the first one. So according to Gandhiji, village republic. So Gandhiji gives more importance for the village. So India lives in a village. So he was interested in developing the village industries and a self-sufficient unit in the village. And he opposed missionaries, industrialization and urbanization. Okay, next one he considered on missionary. So Gandhiji described that missionary is a great sin to an economy. Why? Because here labor are abundant, so labor should be used instead of missionary. So he is not welcome the missionary missionary, and he considered missionary as a boon, and it is an social evil. Next one, third one, it is an industrialism. So Gandhiji considered that industrialism is a curse to the economy. So when there is an development of the industry, definitely it used to pollute the environment. So environment which will be affected due to the industries. And then the second one, through industrialism, if we depend through industrialism, so entirely the country will be exploited. So for this cases, Gandhiji considered that industrialism as a curse. Then fourth one, it is an decentralization. So decentralization means he advocated, that is Gandhiji advocated for decentralizing the economy. That is that a government, that a people should give more important for the development of small scale production in the people, and then people who doing the work at home. So these types of people should be encouraged. So he has given importance and he has advocated for the decentralization. Then village sarvodaya. So Gandhiji said that a real India which is lives in village only. So village plays and more important. So a real village, a real India which is found in village and not in towns or cities. So he has suggested the development of self-sufficiency, self-dependent village. Next one, we come to know about an bread labor. So bread labor means he gives more important for the human labor. That is, labor has an dignity. Okay. So labor, that is God created man. So the most important, so manual work, he gives more important for the manual work. That is, physical work should be done instead of using a machinery or bringing industries in an economy. Then seventh one, doctrine of trusteeships. So here he explained about the capitalism. So capitalism plays a most important role in an economy, but he is not advocated, he is not favored for the capitalism. So if there is an capitalist, if India following an capitalist economy, certain group of people will be enjoyed in the economy. Okay. So that's why he is not gives more importance for the capitalism. Then next one, on the food problem. So Gandhiji was against any sort of food control. See here in the economy, everything which is filled abundant. So food also which has been filled abundant, but they are creating an artificial scarcity in the food items. So he has said that India was begging for food grains, but actually they are creating an artificial scarcity in the economy. But India is well rich in certain commodities like food grains, fruits, vegetables, milk, egg, meat, etc. The next we come to know on the population. So Gandhiji opposed the methods of the population control. So India is fully filled with population, that is population which has been keep on increasing. So population pressure which has been increased, so he started to oppose and he started to control the population. So by through following and brahmacharya or self control. So to those two method, that if population should be controlled. So this is considered, he considered self control as a sovereign remedy to the problem of overpopulation. The next one, it is an on prohibition. So on prohibition means he advocated that prohibition, that is strictly should be avoided in an economy, is that liquor, the use of liquor. So liquor is a disease rather than vice. So once he felt that it is better for India to be poor. So if India is better to be poor rather than to have 1,000 of drunkards. So better people to be India to be in poor, because if more people, but more peoples are now dependent, more people are using this liquor. So this is a great disease in India. Okay, so but nowadays what happens, many states depend on the revenue from the use of this liquor sales only. So he has strictly prohibited the use of the liquor. Okay, so I will repeat. So according to Gandhiji, so he considered that a village is the most important one. So real India lives in a village, and he opposed missionaries, industrialization and urbanization. So village should be developed, and village should get an sufficient unit. Second, on missionary, he explained that missionary is considered as a great sin. While using a missionary, so labor work will be reduced. So he considered that missionary is an boon. So missionary is a bad. Okay, it is an evil. Then third one, industrialism. So Gandhiji considered industrialism as an curse. So when the industries started, means it exploit our country. So that's why he said that industrialism is an curse to mankind. Then decentralization. So Gandhiji advocated for the development of a small scale production, those people who doing their work at home. So these people should be encouraged. So he favored for the decentralization of the economy. Then village is Sarvodaya. So real village is found, a real India which is found in village and not in towns or cities. So village should be developed, village should be get sufficient, self-sufficient and self-dependent village. Then bread labor. So human has a dignity. So dignity of labor is the most important one. So man have to do their work in manually, that is physical effort should be put rather than using machineries or using an industrialism. Then doctrine of trusteeship. So Gandhiji opposed this trusteeship, that is opposed of capitalism in an economy. So if there is an capitalism, profits will be enjoyed by a small group of person alone, and the remaining people will be suffered. Then on food problem, see in India we have certain resources which are abundant, but actually they are creating an artificial scarcity, that India is begging for food grains, but India is well rich in certain food grains like fruits, vegetables, milk, egg, meat, etc. Then we come to know about an population. So India should be that is for the development of the economy, population should be controlled. So by two method, if populations are controlled, definitely the economy will be developed. So one is following and brahmacharya, another one is self control. Okay, so by this two method, if it is followed, means automatically population will be controlled and the economy will be developed. And third one, it is an prohibition. So prohibition means that is the use of liquor. So in India, mostly this liquor uses of liquor, which is considered as an disease, it has been spread all over the country. So nowadays many states which are depend on the sale of liquor, because through that they receives more revenue. So but he strictly prohibited the use of the liquor. So just a recap what we saw today. So today we saw about the contributions of Indian economic thinker, that is Thiruvalluvar. So in the 3rd century itself he has explained about an economics, and he has given an various point that how an economy should be developed. So he has explained about the factor of production. So what are the factors which has been used in an economy? So land, labor, capital and organization, time and technology which has been used. Then he has explained about the agriculture. So among all the sector, agriculture occupation plays a major role. So those who are working in agriculture, they are considered as an superior when compared to all the occupation. Then he has explained about an public finance. So when we come to know about an public finance, so to the finance, that is how we used to get an revenue, how we used to collect an revenue, how to manage the revenue, and then how to do the expense. So through this he has explained. Then he has explained about the public expenditure. So the government should focus, that people should focus, spend their revenue on certain things like defense, public works and social service. So in 3rd century itself he has explained about the public expenditure like defense, public works and social service. Then he opposed of external assistance, that we should not depend on another country. So self sufficient should be maintained in an economy. Then poverty and begging, so he has given more importance, that is how to reduce poverty and begging should be avoided in an economy. Then we saw about the wealth, so he gives more importance for the wealth. So wealth is the most important for the development of the economy. So industries is considered as an real wealth, he has explained. Then welfare, so the most development thing is that the economy should be get certain welfare, like perfect health, then abundant wealth, then good crops, then happiness, and then full security. Okay, so then next we come to know about Gandhiji. So according to Gandhiji point of view, he has explained about the ethical foundation, that is he has explained about the good and bad. So according to his point of view, he explained about the silent features, that he has given more importance for the development of the village, that village should be self dependent and self sufficient. But he has opposed missionaries, industrialization, and then he has opposed of population, and then prohibition use of liquor. Given more importance for the development of village, and village plays an important role. And then he has given more importance for the small scale production, and people who doing at work at a home, he gives more importance. And then labor, and for labor also he has given a more important that labor has a dignity. So he gives more importance for the development of village, he gives more importance for the small scale production, he gives more importance for the labor. And he against missionaries, industrialization, and then he has restricted about the use of liquor, and then how to control population. Okay, so thank you students. In the next class we will see about B.R. Ambedkar contribution to the economy. Thank you students.